Hi everyone, it's Marcy Bessaker, and I think I'm live on YouTube. I am going to see what's going on here, see if I can see my comments. Let me see. Let me turn my sound on. Make sure I can hear. I should see comments soon. All right, looks like I am live. I should see comments soon. All right, I'm gonna mute my screen. I'm gonna turn on my phone. Let me make sure I can hear it. All right, can you guys hear me? It's my first time live. I just want to make sure you can hear me, but it seems like I am on. All right, I'll just wait a couple minutes here and then we're going to get started. Let me just share the link. That's always helpful. We are going to be playing with the Forever Fern, or the Forever Greenery set. It is a fantastic set. Let me just share this link. All right. Okay, so I can see comments. If you're there, if you can hear me and everything seems okay, please just put a little hi on there for me. This is my very first live on YouTube. And I'm going to switch over. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to be watching my comments on my phone, but I can, or at least I think I am. And I just want to make sure this is working. I'm not used to YouTube, so it's a lot different for me. So I appreciate you bearing with me here, and we'll get going. So I'm going to be working on a project with the Forever Fern, and this is a new set from Stampin' Up that is going to be going live on June 3rd, and it is a fantastic suite. You can get the paper, the matching designer paper, and I'll show you all that. There's some ribbon I want to grab so I can show you, and there's just a lot of great items to go with this suite. So I want to show you some super neat tricks with this set also. I'm just going to swap back over. I just want to make sure if I'm seeing your comments, I don't miss them. So I'm going to minimize here. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started. I'm going to show you the screen down here and show you where we're at. Let me adjust the camera a bit for you. Let's see, I've got my light in the way too. I just want to make sure we are going to see this okay. Let me adjust this. Boy, this live stuff is no joke, let me tell you. There's a lot to do. All right, I'm going to pull this back here. Sorry about this. It's a little different than what my view is when I do my Facebook lives. I just don't want you getting all crooked here, so I want you to be able to see. All right, sorry about that. Oh, the fun of being live and working on here. Now I see 2 people on. If you could just say hi, I want to make sure my chat's working. That would be awesome. and then we're going to get started. Okay, so I don't really even have anything planned other than I want to show you this suite and what it comes with. And then I want to show you some fun projects. And I do have some really great tips. Honestly, they're tips that I haven't used in a very long time. Some fun techniques and some different things that I really think are helpful. And honestly, I watched a bunch of videos just recently, and I wish I would have written down the name, but she did this technique and it reminded me of how I used to do my swaps for convention. So I'm trying to find, I just want to make sure that I have the suite here so I don't miss out on telling you what is in this suite, because I can't show you the inside of the book, but I have the product in the suite, so I can definitely share it with you. And all right, so first off, I'm going to show you the stamp set, and this is the Forever Fern. And here are some of the stamps that I pulled out, and you can see that they have like shading already on them. So if you're going to do some coloring, or you're going to do some pencils or whatever kind of coloring that you like to do, then you can I'm sorry, I'm trying to minimize the screen here. I want to make sure I can see what you guys are seeing. So I'm in the screen. Okay, so you guys can shade or pencil or whatever you want to do, because these stamps are just so fantastic. And then the sentiments are just so nice too, and I love the font. So we're going to use a lot of this set. We're going to use Pear Pizzazz Pretty Peacock, and this is the ribbon. The ribbon is Forever Greenery Trim Combo, and I have a lot of the items listed. I really wasn't sure what I was going to use included with everything yet, so I maybe don't have everything down there, but I can add that later too. So we have some ribbon and some gold twine, and this gold is like a rope, and it untwists. And look at the end. Look, I have ink on me, sorry. And then if you look at the end, to see how it frays, let me find a dark background here. See how that frays? I mean, you could, if you don't want it to fray too much, you could tie a little tiny knot right there and just have the end fray. Or if you're tying a bow and this is just your end, you can let that fray. So there's a lot of fun that we can do. This is what I did. I tied a knot, and then I stuck this in. This is just an extra piece, but I stuck it in between some clusters of flowers or whatever, just so you can kind of have that sparkle and that fun on your card. So we may put some gold in, but I have a different idea for some gold, and I'm going to show you. I'm sure we will be using this because I just can't not use it. So I'll put that right there behind me. Okay, so the next thing in this bundle are the Greenery embossing folders. And I have a piece of vellum in here because I think I'm going to use that. But these are the two folders. Again, let me find something. So there's the first one. And then here is the second one. And the second one is just so pretty. So those are the two, and they're mini, because if you have not heard, we will be getting a mini die cutting machine. Okay, so we will have mini die cutting machine, and we will also have a regular size one, and those will be coming. They will be in the catalog June 3rd, but their arrival is going to be just a little bit later. So that's what is going on with the machines, but they're going to be spectacular. Okay, so this embossing folder is called Text. Let's see, this embossing folder is called, I think it's Tasteful Textile is the name of it. And the Tasteful Textile embossing folder is kind of like a burlap. It's really kind of fun, and I think we may use that today too. So I just kind of pulled out a bunch of things that I thought we might use. Now, I'm going to put these aside and show you the designer series paper. So this one's been opened. I've opened this one, but this paper is, I mean, I'm even saving this. This could go on the bottom of the inside of a card or something, so I've got to keep it. All right, and this is the other side, but look how pretty that paper is. And then here's some with the background. Look how pretty. I mean, this paper is just so pretty. So these are just the different ones in this suite. And the paper, I'll show you. This is a lot like the embossing folder. The same type of print. Okay, and the paper is called Forever Greenery Designer Series Paper. Oop, I'm gonna walk away with my stamp. So what I did is I saw somebody recommended to take one package of your paper and put it inside of a container, and I believe it's called Love It, Chop It. If you love it, chop it, and then you'll use it. And I can tell you that I have started using designer series paper a lot more often. So what I've done is I put some in like this, and then I've turned some stripes upward so I can see all the patterns as I just kind of go through and decide what I'm going to use. And the paper is just gorgeous. So I think already cut like this, how easy is it to just grab a piece and take it and start designing with it versus pulling it out of that plastic and cutting it down. And it's just kind of nerve-wracking to cut all that paper down if you're a paper hoarder like me, and it's just difficult to use. So now this is a little easier. All right, so this is just a tip. It's kind of nice, and I just kind of put the name on the side, and I cut out the label part and put it on the front. So I have my colors that's included, the name of it, the number and everything, and then when I set them on my shelf, it's like this. So that is another helpful tip there. Also in this series, let me grab a couple things. So we have, use them, I gotta make sure I put them back where I want them. Here we go. So we have two things. We have these gold hoops, and those are called gold hoops, embellishment. But these are really cool. They're flat on the outsides and the inside and the outside. So every side is like a little square that's round. It's really cool. They're very lightweight. I think they would be great on a card to just add some sparkle, add a little more dimension. You can tie some ribbon on, different things. And then the other item is we have this Flowers for Every Season gem. Hi, I see more of you signing on. If you could just say hi, I want to make sure my chat is working. That would be awesome. So then we have these, and they are like water drops and then like a little iridescent on top of the green gems. And I think we might add some of those on a project today too. So we're just going to kind of play with everything, kind of see what we come up with. All right, so I'm going to set these all aside and let's get busy. I have a lot I want to show you. So I think what we'll do first is we're going to just take a regular A2 size card and fold it. And I think I'm going to do that vellum in the embossing folder. And let's just kind of put it down in the middle, because it's just going to go shy of the full size. This was actually a scrap of vellum that I got. So I'm going to use this. And let me just run it through my machine really quick. Let's see. That's right. Let's use the correct sandwich on my machine. Sorry about this. Let me just get this. I forgot to grab my embossing mat here, so let me get it. And here we go. Sorry about that. All right, so now we're going to emboss this, and then we're going to do a little bit of stamping. But here comes the idea that was shared that reminded me of what I did when I did convention and swaps. Okay, so here is the embossing folder. It just embosses so nicely, and it's just going to add some texture in the background. So I'm going to set those aside. And all right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the tip that I found out yesterday that I had forgotten. So I'm going to take my Stamparatus, and I'm going to, what I did is I took a bunch of white paper and I die cut a bunch of leaves. This way you don't have to put your stamps in a particular place, and you don't have to put your dies over it and run it through and be super careful about how you are having your dies and taking the time. Now you just run them through, and now you're asking, but how do you get them stamped and positioned nicely so that you can not have to, they always say stamp then cut, stamp then cut. That is true. But what you're going to do is you take a piece of paper like this, you're going to line it. So what I did is when I cut them, I just cut them all over. It didn't matter where they were. I just put them on the white paper and cut them. But now when I stamp them, we're going to put this down. We're going to take our stamps. So I want the top two, I'm going to do in Pretty Peacock. So you're just going to align this up in those holes, okay? So align them. And then the bottom ones I'm going to do in a different color. I'm going to do Pear Pizzazz. So just kind of align them in the hole. The little ones, you're going to have two different leaves going different ways. One going to the left, one going to the right. So just kind of line those up in the hole. And then we're going to have this one. And just kind of align them. All right, so those are all aligned. I'm going to close my lid and take that back off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, there we go. These are red rubber, so you want to take your mats off the bottom. So you're on the hard. If they were the clear, the polymer, then you would not. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take your stamps and put them in place. So I'm going to put that one there, and then you want a magnet. I should grab that off the bottom. And one magnet's fine for this. Your paper 6x6 is what I use to cut. And I'm going to do the other one, I think, too. Just secure your paper in the corner, because you're going to use this same paper over and over. So, all right. Get my little tool here. Okay, so now you're just going to place it in the hole there. Make sure you're using the right side to your paper on these two, because they're two different ones. All right, I'll put that on there. Let's see, I need another big one here. So when you're doing multiples like this, this is a great way, and you'll get faster at pulling them out of your little pile here. Oops, I need one more little leaf. So I'm gonna find that little leaf, and here we go, and last one. All right, so now you're gonna put your leaves in your little slots here, and now you're gonna take your two colored of your ink. And so I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock on the top ones. So I'm going to take this. If you put something underneath this, number one, it's easier to grab on the corner. All right. And make sure that I am in screen. All right, so I have all of my papers there. I'm going to ink up the top two and Pretty Peacock. Okay, you want to make sure, and if you look at the stamp, let me move it over. If you look at the stamp, you can see the shading. Okay, so there's those. And then you take the Pear Pizzazz and you go on the bottom. And I want these in Pear Pizzazz, so I'm just going to make sure you get them. If you don't get the very bottom of your stem, that's not a big deal, because you're probably going to layer them up and tuck that under, so that's fine. All right, and make sure your papers are all in the right place. And then just stamp them. And there you go. So now I want to do that one again. Either I didn't get a little ink there, or I didn't push there. There we go. And now you can take all of your little stamps off, your images, and now you don't have to try and fit your dies on top of those. Okay, so let's do it again. We're just going to put them in. Oh, this one has like a little shred there. All right, let's get them all in here. So this is one super quick, fun way to just get a lot done. And when I saw this stamp set and I saw that she did this, I was like, oh, I just used to do it for convention and for swaps. And this set, I can totally see wanting to use every leaf on here. And so I thought this was a perfect way to get a bunch done. We're not going to do them all today, but I just wanted to kind of show you this quick trick, and having a Stamparatus comes in handy for something like this especially. Now, if you're not familiar with a Stamparatus, this is a positioning machine or positioning tool, and it has another panel over here. So here is a second one. And so when you're doing layering or you're creating a scene or whatever, it's nice to have the two panels and have different stamps on both panels. You can also turn the panels over, use the other side. You can also lift it out and slide it down if you're wanting to put your words exactly in the right order. I mean, there's just so much you can do. And I have a lot of machines, a lot of positioning tools, but this one just takes the cake. It just does so much. All right, so there's another one. We're probably going to do two more because I want to do 4 cards, and we're not probably going to put everything on here. I have another part of the suite that I want to share with you that we're going to be using on a card too. So let's just do a couple more to make sure we have enough images. And I don't know exactly what we're doing yet. So we're just going to try and put these in. I haven't seen any chats come up, you guys, so I don't know if the chats are working. I'm hoping that they do. If you guys have any questions, I can answer them for you. All right, and now I just need 2 little ones. And 1 more, this one. Now also in this die set, I'm going to show you the extra things that you get. So in this die set, let me see, not get the glare off. This one, this, these 2 here, and these 4 here are all extra. The ones with a hollow in the center, those go with a stamp. But the other ones are just extra. I've done a card making this vellum. Today I did a few with vellum with this. I mean, you can, and I did these in the Pretty Peacock. So it's just to add some filler, and I just really love this whole suite. I really am happy with all of that. All right. So now we're going to stamp this one. Let's do this quickly here. Now there's another element that we're going to be using on the cards. And it also is part of the suite, and it is really going to wow the cards. And there's so many great things that you could do, and you can even add other stamps and use these leaves as the background or whatever. It's just such a user-friendly set, I think, that you could use with other stuff. Now, when I saw the new catalog, this was one of the very first things I wanted to get. I just really enjoyed this set and the colors and everything. So, all right, let's just do one more quick. Just want to make sure we have enough for our projects. I didn't want to do this ahead of time because I wanted to show you this great idea. Do you guys like this idea? Do you think this would be helpful for you? All right. This one I have. Let's see. This one, here we go. That one. And then once, if I would, what I would recommend if you're doing this and not throwing them in a bucket to do a video, is just put them in a pile. So you can just grab one from each pile and not have to dig them out of your little bowl here. And I need one more little leaf. Wrong one. Here we go. Found it. All right. Okay. It is a beautiful day here. It's warm. It's been breezy all week. I'm in California, right in the middle of the states, of the state. We're still on lockdown. I even cut my own bangs today. Yesterday was about all I could handle. So I decided this was it. Had to cut my bangs. My mom is a hairdresser, of course, and she taught me not how to cut my hair, but what not to do, which was go too short. So thank you, Mom. I was able to just kind of trim them enough to get by. My hairdresser is anxious to go back to work too, and I know everybody's anxious to get their hair, nails, and whatever done. Okay, so we're going to set these aside. I will clean these later with my chamois. I'm just going to kind of get this off here for now and just set this aside. All right. Okay, so we're going to set that aside over there. Okay, so now I think what we're going to do is show you the special item that's included in this suite. Let's see, I'm looking at my list here, making sure I showed you everything that is included. Yes, so the only thing left to show you are these. They're called Forever Gold Specialty Designer Series paper. And these are fantastic. So you get 3 sheets of this. I know there's going to be a lot of glare going on with my light right now. 3 sheets. Oh, you can see this detail here. So let's see if you can see it. Look how pretty that is. And it's gold. It's white on the back, so you could always color it a different color if you want. But the gold is just gorgeous. So there's a whole bunch here. And I think we're going to use this one. And I think I have, there's 3 sheets. Let's see, I'm stuck right here. Okay, so we're going to use this one, I think, on one card for sure. But you could also pull out, there's little leaves and there's just other little things here you can use. So that's this card. We'll use this. So there's 3 of these. They're separated by tissue paper. And then in the back, there are like frames. So there are frames here that we can use. Look how pretty these are. I think we're going to use one. I don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but let's do this. Let's do this one. This one would be kind of cool. I don't know what we'll do, but it looks fun. All right, so you get 3 of each sheet of these. And I want to make sure I put these back in between the paper, because then they'll get stuck on the other ones in front or behind them. So these are really cool to add some spark. All right, so we're going to set those aside. So these I'm just super excited about for a lot of different projects. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to glue this down. And I think I am just going to use this because I'm going to be covering it up. So I'm just going to, except my glue is just about gone. Let me grab a glue. Here we go. I love the green glue. I love that it gives you just enough time for wiggle room. So let's see. So we're going to, I want this just like it is. So I'm just gonna, that's a little much, but that's all right. We're gonna cover it up. All right, I'm going to just kind of put it in the middle. Just like that. And I'm just going to set that aside so it'll dry. Now I think we're going to work off of this, and we're going to, let's do our sentiment. So let's see if I have some, oh, you know what, let's try. Now, along with our sentiments, our leaves, I did sentiments too. So I did a vellum one, which I'm going to use that in a different card. But this one maybe, let's see if my sentiment will fit on that. I don't know. Well, we'll try. It might, the swirly part might kind of cut off, but we're going to try it. But these are layers. You could, this is another die set. So on some of these I used on the Stitch So Sweetly. I love this set. And then this is a new one, Tasteful Labels. And these are the ones I used here. But these are really neat. They've got some really neat edges and a different type of die. And these are new in another suite. So what I did is these layer up. You could put your sentiment, put different color on the background, but I just wanted to do a few. I kind of like that too. I think that would look good. Let's try that. I kind of like that. But I'm also going to use that on here. All right, so let's try that. So I'm going to bring in my paper as soon as I find it. Here it is. All right, and we're going to stamp. I think I'm going to do this in Pretty Peacock. All right, I'm just going to use a stamp acrylic block. We're just going to eyeball this. Oh, I don't know if this one's going to fit either. Well, we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. Let's see how it turns out. This might not be the right shape for this stamp. It kind of cut off the, I think it gets the point. You can read it. I think it'll be okay. So we're going to go with that one, I think. All right. So now we're going to start putting this together. Let's see. Now the glue kind of makes this warp, and I should have thought about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue dots underneath the corners. I forgot that with glue it makes vellum warp a little bit, and that's okay. We're going to see how it did, but we're going to put over that the center, but we're going to just put glue dots in the, kind of try to do it inside a leaf so you don't see it quite so much. I should have put a tape runner, but that's all right. So we're just going to put these inside the leaves so it holds it down. We're going to put the other, let's see, I'm going to put it under this leaf right here. Okay, so that's fine. All right. Now I'm going to pop this up. I think I'm going to, we'll glue that on, but let's worry about all of this first. Look how pretty that is. All right. We need some foam squares. All right, I have my dimensionals here. And I'm going to kind of go towards the inside a little bit because I'm going to be layering up some flowers, all my leaves. So let's go ahead and do this. But before we do that, I want to Where is my twine? There we go. I think we're going to add a little bit of this in the back. So I'm just going to cut a strip. And I'm going to tie it in a knot. Hi Karen, welcome. This is my very first live, and I'm glad the chat's working. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going over the Forever Greenery set, and I just love it. Love it, love it. All right, so what I'm going to do is just kind of circle it. I'm going to put it on just so it kind of sticks out. I don't really care where. And I think I'm going to take just a little piece of my double-sided tape here and just kind of put it down. I don't even have to take the paper off. It's underneath. It's just I want to hold that there. And we can mess around with this later. We're gonna do some more with that. But I think I'm gonna put it like this. Okay. So now, Karen, you're gonna have to go back and watch the beginning of this. I showed a really great tip on how to color all your leaves at one time, how to not fuss about doing your die cutting and worrying about positioning and all that kind of stuff. So I saw somebody do it recently and I was like, dang, I forgot all about doing that, because I just did it at conventions mostly. When I was doing swaps, that's when I was really focused on that kind of a tip. And this card, I think, gosh, I wish I would have wrote it down. It was kind of, this ended up being an impromptu little video here, but had I written that down, her name, this is kind of a little bit of a card that she did. Her card's kind of like this. All right, so I want to make sure I'm in screen. I have a habit of bringing it towards me. All right, and I think I'm going to add a little bit of, I can pull these out of here. So this is what I did. I'm trying to get these little pieces here. I think I'll put 3 of those. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these up because I just kind of like to pop everything up. Yeah, when I watched her video yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, why haven't I done this? Well, I think it's because I normally just do it when I do conventions and I'm doing swaps and I'm doing a multiple, because I do a lot of cards at one time. Like right now I'm making this one card, and that is not me. I am normally make 10 cards. Same card, 10 cards, or close to the same. And when I saw her do this, I was like, this whole suite here is the suite to do this with, because I love the leaves. I love the color of the whole thing. This is absolutely the perfect suite to do that technique with. So I'm really happy I saw that yesterday. I was watching TV late last night. My husband was watching a show that I just finally lost interest in. I was like, I don't even know what happened. And then we realized that we both missed the second season, and it's the 3rd season, and we're like, he's like, I'm gonna go watch the 2nd season again. I'm like, you go ahead, I'm watching videos. So I put my headphones on, listened to videos, watched a lot of stuff last night, and he's like, I don't think we watched the 2nd season. I'm like, well, that would make a lot of sense. Why it doesn't make any sense to me. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of poke some of these in, and I'm gonna glue them. North Carolina, how's your weather there? It's warm here. My husband's out working in the yard, and He's like, aren't you going to go out in the pool? And I'm like, no, I need to share some fun stuff with people. So I've been playing with some other items because I've had a couple of requests, but I've been dying to do this one. I just love this set. How's the weather where you guys are? I'm just gonna stick a few in here just to kind of add a little extra. And just imagine how easy this is. If you do the technique I showed at the beginning, oh Karen, me too. I love sun and warm. That's why I live in California. I would just die if I lived somewhere else. I go visit my kids. They live in Oregon and Washington, and my grandkids, and I'm freezing when I go visit them, and they're like, Mom, it is not cold. And I'm like, no, I'm freezing. I'm just California girl, I guess, used to this heat. All right, so there we go with that. Now I think I'm going to get my sentiment here. And even though it kind of went off the edges, I'm okay with that. You can read it. We're going to do something else too anyway, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue to here. And I just like this die. It just adds a little more character. The stamp is wonky. It's a little crooked. So that's okay. That's how the sentiment is. It's just kind of on a little tilt there. And I might have even stamped it a tad crooked, but you can see where it starts and stops there, and I'm fine with that. All right. Let's see. So now, do you see how I have my little gold just kind of, and like I said, it kind of unravels. So I just tie a little knot in it before you add it. That way it's there, and that works. So now what I'm going to do is I am thinking, you know what, instead of those, I think I'm just going to add, I just want a little something down here. Oh, Bakersfield. That's like 2 hours, I think, from me. I'm in Clovis, which is right next to Fresno. And so you know how Bakersfield, it's warm there. I think I'm going to add some more texture. I was going to add gold, the gold rope, which is what this is. But I decided that's a lot of gold, which who doesn't love gold? I am going to do a bow. Yeah, my son's in Washington. He was in the military and ended up stationed up there when he came back from, well, right before he went to Afghanistan, but then he also got to stay there when he came back. And found the love of his life, and now he and his wife and his son all live up there. My daughter is in Oregon. And then we have another daughter, and she is in Central California, not too far from us, about an hour. All right, so I'm going to make this just a little smaller. Let's see. Okay, normally that goes smaller, but that one side is staying kind of big. All right, I'm going to redo this bow. Redo the bow. It's just too big for me. Let's see. I think I pulled out my oldest scissors. They're probably 10 years old. Okay. Now let's try this. I want a little bow. Little bow. Okay, so my nails, you guys, are getting so long that I can hardly do anything with these things. They're just awful. I cannot wait. Oh, they're going to fall off before I'm able to get them done. I just know that, but then I really won't be able to do anything. All right, there we go. Much better. Much better. That's what I wanted. All right, so I'm going to cut this one a little. Okay, I need my other scissors. these are old. Okay. Now I think I'm just going to add this with a glue dot. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's my very first YouTube live. Oh, wanted to make sure everything was working, everything was on. All right, what do you guys think about our first card? This whole set is just, I really like it a lot. I love this. Oh, so you have a lot of family you can go visit there. Okay, so that is card 1. I'm setting that aside. No, I'm not. I want to add something else because that's just how I go. I'm going to add, I really like, what did I just get? I really like these metallic pearls. Thank you, Karen. This is what I do. I'm like, oh, I need to add more. Okay, so this is silver and gold, I believe. I have a lot of gold, but this does not look like, oops, I just pulled them off. This does not, well, all right, let me show you what I do because I don't know why I'm doing it like I'm doing it right now. I like to cut the side. And then that way, you keep this closed. I don't know why I just opened it like I did. And that way you can just pull them out. Okay, they kind of look like a blue, don't they? Kind of like a bluish color. They don't look silver, or if they do, they're reflecting beautifully off the blue. So I am just going to add a lot of these because I really think they're pretty. I just got them. I am going to have to order more. I really like these. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more. I think I'm just going to do it right there. All right, now it's done. Okay, I don't know why. I rarely put them on the sentiment. I just don't like it there. I'm going to put it right here. There. I like that better. I don't know why. I try it on the sentiment. I always try it, and then I end up moving it. I always think, oh, I'll put it on the sentiment. But I kind of like that they're hidden, and that just brings your eye to look more at the detail. All right, card 1 done. All right, let me put that one aside. Now, what are we going to do next? So I told them at the very beginning that I haven't decided exactly what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it. I know I'm using this suite. So we're going to use the suite again. I'm just not really sure what we're doing yet, but let's do this one next. Okay, so I do know that I want to, if you guys don't know about these are the little sheets of like grid paper, but they're little and they are perfect. Instead of having your whole counter with it, I just really like this. And then my husband made me this wood, just so you guys know. I have a glass like honeycomb underneath, but it kind of reflects a little bit. So this is a little better on the camera. It kind of doesn't get so crazy. All right, so I think what we're going to do is this time I'm going to pull out my runner as soon as I can find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, there's that. And pick up the gems I just dropped all over the floor. It wouldn't be a live video if I didn't drop something all over, right? All right. So we'll just set those aside for now. So I have my tape runner, and I'm going to just add a little on here. I really love this die set. And I will flash so at the end of the video or towards the end, I will go over to a link of the supplies. but I'll also link them below in the video so you can see them. And then that way you can kind of see what I used and get all the details, but I will list them in the YouTube video also. And so it just kind of gives you an idea of what I've used if you're interested in looking at it or checking it out, or knowing the exact name. They're new, so I'm trying to show you, but it just gives you a visual, so that'll be a little bit easier. So I'll list that in a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to stamp on here, and I think I just want to stamp hello. It's a fun card just to send to somebody, but I have been on this kick not to just do a plain old hello. So let me see what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the hello on my block, and I'm going to take these little dots, they're just little specks, and I'm going to do them in the Pear Pizzazz, but I'm going to do them very lightly. So I'm going to stamp off and stamp on, and I'm going to stamp off and stamp on, and that's it. That's all I want. So that just gives it a little bit of character, adds a little dimension. And okay, so now I think I'm going to do peacock, and I'm going to do the hello. All right, I'm going to pull it towards me a little bit because I got to be above it so I can see what I'm doing. And I just, okay, I'm thinking. All right, I'm going to, yeah, I think I'm just going to do it in the middle. All right, there's my hello. All right, oops. My chamois is buried right now under all these things I'm grabbing to show you, so I'm grabbed a baby wipe for now. I'll clean it all up later. All right, so now I've got this. I've got this. I am going to add that, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to pop it up. Pop it up, pop it up. So, getting my dimensionals again, which I think I'm just going to leave out. Have you guys seen the baby dimensionals? Oh my gosh, the little minis. They are just the cutest things. All right, I'm going to show you because they're so cute. Look how tiny those are. Little tiny dimensionals. And they are so perfect for that little spot that you need them in. All right, I'm going to put those right there. Okay, so now we have this done, and I have a couple thoughts of what I'm going to do. We're going to just lightly drop it, and I want it over just a little bit again. I like to just, I don't know where my tweezers are. I lost my tweezers. I just don't know where they went. Okay, I talk to myself a lot when I craft. I can't help it. Just what I do. All right, there we go. So we're going to set this aside. And so what I'm thinking is we're going to have this go here like this. And it's going to be one of those open cards like this. So we need an inside. So let me grab a white piece of paper. All right. So let's see. I have a lot of white over here. All right, I'm going to grab this one. And I'm going to grab my trimmer. And I'm just going to cut this. What is this? No. Well, yeah, let's just do this one this way, because I'm going to use scratch paper anyway. So 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. That side's crooked. Here we go, 5 1/4. All right, so I want this to go on the inside. And then while I'm here, I think I'm going to cut another piece of seafoam. And I'm going to do this one to and let's see. Karen, how long have you been stamping? Have you been stamping a long time if you're an avid stamper or a beginner? All right. So I think I'm going to emboss this, and let's emboss it with this. No, I'm going to emboss it with the small one. The other one. We used this one with the vellum, and I'm going to use this one. Yeah, let's do that. Did you ever do that? You just sit here and think like, which do you want to do? I'm going to use this. So we're going to put this back over here so I don't get it confused. All right, so now I'm just going to add some texture to the front of the card. An advanced beginner. You know, there's so many people that, you know, get discouraged when they watch other people, but that's how you learn. I still see other people and I just think, oh wow, that is amazing. I would never be able to do that. Or I think, you know, that's the kind of card I made last year. And it's just all about learning and trying new things and trying to step it up and just do something different. And don't be afraid. Like, don't be afraid to get ink all over your hands. That's what it's about. All right, I think I'm just going to add texture there. So now we've got this and this. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the inside. And I think what I'm going to do is, oops, where did my stamps go? My stamps are all in the Stamparatus. All right. So now I'm going to take some of these off. I want this one for sure. And I'm going to just put it on partially on a block because we're just partially using it. All right, and I'm going to use this one. I just love this one. Yeah, this one. And I'm going to put this one on this block. All right. So I'm going to use this one with the green. We don't have the Garlic Festival. That's in Gilroy, but Clovis does the Clovis Rodeo. We do have a rodeo, but we don't have a Garlic Festival. That's Gilroy, which is over towards the coast. Or we don't anymore, and I've lived here pretty much my whole life. And I don't remember a Garlic Festival. All right, so I'm going to stamp off and stamp on. Stamp off, stamp on. Stamp off, stamp on. Just make sure you stamp off so you get a little bit of an image there. I know we have a big rodeo. We have, you know, the Clovis Rodeo. We have Big Hat Day. So it's kind of like a festival where there's a lot of food for sale and stuff like that. All right. And then this one, I'm going to do pretty peacock. This is kind of fun. This is kind of like crafting with your friends when they come over, because Who doesn't like crafting with friends better than crafting by yourself? All right. Okay, I think that's good. Now, I want one more, just a little blue right there. There we go. I'm good with that. All right, so now that's going to be my inside. All right, I'm going to leave all my stamps together and move these for a bit. All right, so now I think that's what I used to do. Whenever I could, I would be stamping. I love it. My husband would be like, oh, I want to go fishing, or I want to go, you know, sometimes that do things or go visit his brother or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'll be in my craft room. So it's, you know, sad but funny. My husband loves to snowboard, and he fishes, and he golfs. And when all this stuff started happening with us, with this whole pandemic thing, he couldn't do any of those things. His snowboarding season was cut short, and it was a great season towards the end there. Then he couldn't go golfing or even go hit balls or anything. No fishing, can't go on the lakes. And this is, of course, in California. I know everybody's a little bit different. But he was just so sad because he was wanting to do these things and couldn't. And I'm like, well, guess what? You should have chose paper crafting, because I can do that whenever I want to. He didn't think it was as funny as I did, but he kind of said, well, you got a point there. And I said, well, I can teach you. But I think he's just able to go and hit balls now at a driving range. So he did that this morning. He likes to be outside, so I'm glad he was able to do that. All right. So I'm just layering this up just for some texture. Just add some texture on there. Again, we're going to put this here, so I'm still kind of thinking, what do I want to do? And I'm thinking, because the vellum is not super strong, I think I'm going to put another die cut underneath that, because the vellum, like I said, when I started this, I did a bunch of pieces, I cut a bunch, I did a lot of stuff, but I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. And so when I started doing this, I was just like, well, I might try this, I might try that. Like, so far I haven't put any designer paper on, so we'll probably do that with the next card and see what we come up with. I want to use this still, so we'll work that in with the card too. Karen, you know, when I first started, I had a hard time finding somebody that crafted, and I started going online and learning, you know, a lot of classes and watching a lot of people. And then when I joined Stampin' Up, I would go to the conventions, and you meet so many people. And then you see them online, and you're talking with them, and then you get to see them at convention. And once you join a team, there's always a Facebook page, and you know, where everybody's together. And then you start meeting people that like that. There's a lot of Facebook pages out there. I don't know if you're on any of the Facebook pages, but for you guys, my Facebook page, my business Facebook page, which I post a lot there, is Marcy Bessaker Designs. That's on Facebook. And I will also link that at the end. My blog, I'd love for you guys to join my blog too, which is just marcybessaker.com. I post a lot there. I started to do lives on my Facebook page. Okay, so I added the vellum just on top of the green, and it just gives it some some extra strength here, being that we're going to put it on the top of the card. And I'm having I just put the glue on vellum again. All right, so what I'm going to do is pull this in, and I'm going to wipe it off as best I can. You guys won't even see it. All right, because again, glue makes sure, oh, silly me, glue makes sure vellum start to kind of crinkle up, and I didn't want that. But I also think I want to add some of the gold. I'm just loving that gold, but I gotta find what I just did with it. The gold ribbon. All right, here it is. So I think so yeah, on my blog, if you guys go on there, I post a lot on there. I do some, I link my YouTubes back usually to a project I'm doing. And I post different projects now on my Facebook page. I'll also post stuff on there, but I'll post specials that are coming up or when the catalog's going live, and you know, just different things. So it's good to be on different places because you'll just see all kinds of stuff. But I think I'm gonna tie this. Okay, I think I'm gonna cut this in half. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to tie it in a knot. And I'm tying it in a knot, like I said. It starts to fray. I don't want it to fray and fall off the card if somebody, you know, tugs on it or pulls it or it gets stuck or whatever. And this just kind of keeps it in one place. And this might be too long, and that's okay. I'll work that out. And I do want it to come undone. So I'm going to pull my mat in here, and I'm just going to use your piercing tool. We can trim it later if it's too long. But I just really like what this gold does to add to the card. All right. So I'm going to do that. All right, now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here on a bit. I'm going to add this kind of sideways. That one comes here, this one comes out. Just kind of, I don't really like things symmetrical, so I don't want like two on one side, two on the other, kind of. I just kind of like it. All right, I'm going to line it up. There we go. And now you can see it coming through the vellum and the other. And I just want to make sure that sticks with that in there. You know, I think it's sticking okay. I think it's going to stick okay. I thought I maybe should add a little glue in the middle, but I think it'll be all right. All right, so now it's just, now this is kind of crazy, right? Woohoo. All right, but we're not done. Okay, we're going to be trimming that, so don't worry about that. So now we're going to glue. We are going to pop this up. We're going to pop this up over here because we're going to tuck some goodies in there. All right. I'm going to add some good dimensions there because, make one more. I usually don't add a bunch, but being that that's kind of going to be on the top, not secure. And I'm going to put that right here. All right. Yay. Now I'm going to add some, I need some peacock on here, some color. All right, I think, I'm just going to take some glue and I'm going to slide it right here. Okay, so I just kind of slid it in a spot that probably didn't have quite as much glue there, because remember I used the tape runner, so there's probably a space right there. All right, make sure I'm not getting out of camera. Sorry, I tend to bring it towards me like I said. All right, and now I want to use some of the littler ones. I'm just going to glue that. I'm going to glue this one down. Find the spot around the glue dots. And then I'm going to do, I want some little ones here. I'm going to get a little, no, I think I'll just take one here. Just layer it up a little bit. And just kind of out. Before I squish it down, I'm going to make sure that the dimensional is stuck in there. All right, and now I want to add a little bit of some blue over here somewhere, but that's way big. So we're going to all right, let's see what this does. I think about where my foam squares are because I don't want it stuck way out anywhere separate. I kind of want it together. And I don't want it so symmetrical either. I don't want that. So I'm going to come back in here and pull out one of my little blue guys. And I even cut up some of this in vellum to add. So I think I'm going to add that. And I think I'll put that in glue with glue. Just like on the, oops, that's a lot. All right. All right, so I'm going to just kind of stick this there we go. Stick that in. Just let it pop up, and then now I'm going to take this little leaf and just kind of add a little more dimension there. I just bent this one a little bit. And I'm just going to add, I'm going to bring this gold, and we know we're going to trim the gold, but I'm going to bring it up and then just add this like that. I think I'm going to add, okay, so not quite done. We're definitely not keeping these that long. Now this is like me this morning cutting my hair. I don't want them bluntly cut, so I'm just going to randomly right now I feel like now I feel like I'm giving a haircut. Okay, I don't like how long these came out, but that's okay. We've got a lot we can do with these. I think I'm going to take them all up right here. And they're a little long on some of them, and that's okay. They're going to fit in an envelope just fine. And I think I'm going to add, let me get all this out of the way. All right, so we are going to, I think I'm going to cut this right here just really short because I'm going to add that there so it'll stick out. But and this is what I'm talking about when you do stuff, and it's kind of fun when I do live videos on here, because sometimes you're just like, especially like today's type of video, is I don't have anything really planned other than I wanted to use this set. And I had some ideas and some tips and tricks that I wanted to show. But other than that, it's just kind of, this is the thought process. And this is what happens a lot with people when you think, oh my gosh, they just make the best cards, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, that is not how it always turns out, because it does not always turn out that way. Okay, so I like it behind that better. See how it just kind of gathers in there. And I'm going to cut this one just a little bit because I've got a lot of super long pieces, and I just want to kind of cut some of them to not be so long. There we go. Now it doesn't just look all blunt and long. All right, so there is that one, and I want to add some stones to this one too. And I think I'm going to, let's see, let me pull my little magic stones out here, see what I want to use. I think I'm going to use these this time. I love these gilded gems. I'm just going to use some little ones. Again, I just like to tuck them in. I like to do odd numbers. These cards are kind of frilly, so sometimes I like to add a little more. Sometimes I like to add 5 versus 3, but I think that's enough with all this gold on here. All right. So there is that. Now, of course, I'm always looking like, do I want to add something else? Because I didn't add blue over here. Not that I need it exactly even, but let me just look. And I want it under the gold. I like the gold, or kind of under the gold. I think I'm going to add just one more. It just looks kind of bare over there. Thanks, Karen. Did you get to see the first card? I don't remember. All right, so I'm going to lift this up, or at least most of it up, and just kind of tuck that in. I like that better. There. Pull. There we go. So we layered the vellum on the seafoam in the back there. We just added this. Now, a lot of people would just make that white, and that's what the whole learning the card thing is stepping it up, is what could you do? What could be different? Now, what we could do, and what we might do on another card, is we could have added designer series paper, but just put a sliver here or some down here, because you want enough room to write. But this kind of still covers up the writing. You really could add a white panel here if you wanted, but I think this gives enough room to write, and it's just such a pretty card. All right, so that is card number 2. Yay! Okay, good, Karen. All right. So the next card, what we're going to do is we're going to, let's do this card. And we're going to use this somehow, some way. And I think I'm going to look and see what it looks like if we, now at the very beginning I showed I like to take my designer series paper, some of it, and chop it up. Because I am going to use some more flowers, I don't want a super busy pattern. Remember, turn it over. Well, the way I put these in, you're going to see all of them facing up because you'll see I took this and I turned it over. Oh, the stripes are really pretty. Let's see. And that gold just adds some texture. Let's see. The other one I like is this one. Okay, you guys, which one? I have this one or I have this one. Which one do you like? We'll create a card with it. What do you think? Let me know which one. Okay, as soon as someone pipes in, we'll go choose one of those. I am going to also get a piece of Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to cut this down. Alright, so I'm going to do, yeah, I'll do 4. I want it, the one with the leaves. Okay. Let's do 5 1/4. So I like to add a border so it'll pop. And let's see, because we are going to be adding some of the peacock, Pretty Peacock flower on. I'm going to add the Pretty Peacock as a border, and I'm also going to cut this down to, let's do 5, let's see what this is. This is 3 1/4 by 4 4/4. So let's do 3 1/4. Let's just make it match. Let's do that. By what? By, let's do, all right. Let's see what we come up with. All right, I'm going to put this aside because this one is 4 inches. So I'm actually going to take the inside of the card. Might as well cut that now too. We're going to do 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so that's going to be our inside. All right, so what we're going to do with this now, since we're right here, is I'm going to take this and we're just going to add this on the inside of the card on the bottom. Give it a little trim on there. That's what I like about the green glue. It just gives a little bit of wiggle room. And then you can always turn it over, make sure it's aligned, and it is. Everything looks good, so we're going to set this aside. Now, we're going to take this, and I need to cut this down a little bit. Okay. Just a sliver on both sides. So, I'm going to cut that side, and oh, I think my trimmer thing popped out. My blade on this one here, so we'll just, I like to do it when I need to cut like this. I like to cut with the longer, I think my trimmer popped out. All right. There we go. All right. Now, we don't know what we're doing yet, but we will come up with something fun. So, let's take this. We're going to just align it here. I'm actually going to end up doing this also smaller, the trim. And I'm going to glue this on now because it is a little tiny bit too big and I want to fix that. So I have my little mat here. I'm going to add some glue, and then I like to just take my finger and then just pounce on it. Just lightly. Don't move your piece. And of course I don't have it all the way on there, which was my fault, my bad. And then just kind of, so now we're gonna lift it up. We're gonna take this top part, go down, and go like that. All right, so this is done. This is not. We're going to turn this way, and I have a little too much glue on my fingers, so hold on. Wipe my hands off. My little dog is in here, and I think he hears his daddy outside making noise, and he's probably wondering, why am I not out there with you? All right, so we're going to go from one corner to the next, to the next. It's okay. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to set this aside just to dry. There might be a tiny bit of trimming, but we'll check that out in a bit. All right, so I'm going to wipe this down and just leave the wipe on it and set it aside. All right. Okay, now that we know that we want that done, and we have this, we're going to need a sentiment. So I'm going to look at my box that I did and see what we have for the sentiment. And again, I just really like the vellum because I really want to see that gold wire background. So I'm going to, it's okay. I'm going to cut out this with our peacock, the one that goes on top there, to kind of tie that in. So again, these are the Stitch So Sweetly. So I have this one in vellum. I'm going to do this one in the peacock. And I'll probably, there's a lot of gold on this one too, so I don't know if I'm going to add the gold. All right, so here we go. But who knows? Who knows? All right, I'm going to switch back really quick, check on my Facebook and see if people are having issues getting to the page, because I'm getting a lot of messages and I don't know. It's okay. I think he hears his radio outside. All right, so now again we're going to use this. It's okay, honey. And we're going to go ahead and put this on here. I'm going to text my husband and tell him to come get the dog. Hold on one sec. All right, now let me get back to YouTube here. Okay, here we go. All right, sorry about that, but he's kind of starting to growl, and I know he knows something's going on outside. All right, so I think this might be a tad big. Let me see. Oh, we're going to take the and put this on it. So I think it might be all right. All right, let's trim this. And I have a different idea. I have another idea. Shh, it's okay. All right. There we go. All right, that's trimmed. All right, I think what we may do is, this year is my year of using designer paper. If you guys saw the rest of the designer paper that's coming out, oh my gosh, it is so cute. I mean, all of it is just amazing. All right, so now I'm thinking maybe we'll just use a little more designer paper, not just the leaves, but I want to tie in the peacock if I can. So let me see what I have. Oh, what about this? So we have one kind of leaf and then the other kind of leaf. And then I can put a border on that too. Or, all right, so here we go with our thought process again, and my YouTube just closed. Sorry about that. Let's see. All right, sorry, my YouTube was just kind of, there we go. Okay. So I'm thinking, I kind of like this one. Let's do that. It looks busy, but we're going to tame it down some. So let me look at both of those. All right, so I'm thinking of layering. All right, let me get rid of my dog here. Okay. So we can do this with a trim of the blue. And I don't know that I like that or that. And of course the blue would be, the peacock would be way down. I don't like that either. Okay, I'm not sure what we're going to do with that yet. But I do have another idea. So I think what we're going to do, here we go, just crafting along our way on the fly. So it goes this way. So I'm going to glue this down. like this. Who knows what this card will look like? We are just going to create it and see what happens. It could be scary. It could be fabulous. I don't know. All right. I don't even know how to tell how long I've been on here already. Do you guys know? I don't know. Hour and a half, maybe. This may be our last card. I don't know how long I'm able to go on here. All right, so we're just going to pull this up. I think we'll make this card and then see what we come up with. All right, so there we go. We have a little bit of a trim. Add some of that color. All right, now we're going. Now we're on a roll. And now I think, now let's just take a look. I kind of think I like that. All right, I think I'm going to go with this one. It looks a little busy, but it's okay because we're going to add some vellum and stuff on it. So we're going to take another of our peacock. This is our experimental card for sure. All right, we're going to go 5 1/4. No, let's go 5 1/8 because I want a lot of that color in the background to show up. Let's do this. All right, let's just see what we've got. All right, it's going to be, this is going to be an experiment here. All right, so now we need to cut this one. I forgot. And we're going to do we are going to do measure twice. Okay, so let's just go 1/8 under here. We're going to go here. All right. And then we did that, so we'll do 5 1/8, I believe. All right, so now we're just, again, here I am talking to myself because we're just kind of crafting this last card as we go. All right, so we can cut this one down a little farther. So I'm at 5 1/8. I think I'm going to do this one. We'll go to 5. All right, so here we go. We have this one. We're going to layer it here. Now this may end up being the craziest card or a card that we just say, oh. So who knows? Who knows what we're going to come up with on this one. All right, so I'm thinking there. And we're going to pop this one up. And we do have gold on it already, so I don't know that we need a lot more gold, but who knows? I'm going to look at it and see what comes to us. So I'm going to pop this one up. Oh, you know what we're going to do first? We are going to add a bow. Add a bow. Where is my ribbon? All right, we're going to add a bow, and we're going to add some ribbon, some of our gold rope. I just love this stuff. Okay, we're going to add gold rope. So let's see, what kind of bow do I want? Let's just go around. Okay. All right, we are going to need a sentiment, and you know, I had some sentiments. Let me see what I have. I had some in my stamp case. So what I like to do sometimes is just have some ready to go. I really like that sentiment. Oh, let's see if this fits on here. This is from another stamp set, but we may be able to make it work. I kind of like that sentiment. And again, I added just a little bit of leaves, and I added a little bit of the speckle stamp there. And so, and this is barely going to hang over, which I am okay with. Okay, let's do that. I like that. So your sentiments clearly do not have to fit exactly inside. I just like to be able to see a border of a different color. And there's a different pattern, which I like. I'll hold it up here and okay, so I'm fine with that. All right, so, but I do, when I do sometimes I just do extras and then I just leave them in the case. And then later on, I can see what other sentiments I have ready. All right, so we're gonna move this off. Let's do a bow. And I don't know where this bow is going to go yet, so I'm not going to glue it or anything. We'll slide it up and down where we want it. But we will add it on here. Okay. Oops. A little small. Okay, that's about the size I want, but for now I'm just going to leave it like this until I decide. And we are going to pop this up also. Oh, I have it popped up already. Look at that. Okay, here we go. We can still move the ribbon around and we can take it off if we want to, so I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to go ahead and pop this up here. Okay, and what I didn't do is I want to take this. I'm going to tie a knot on top of here. Just tie another little knot. Just to add another little layer of some bling. Tie a little bow or a little knot. Tying bows with twine with nails that are far too long is not easy. But there you go. Okay. Now this will fray by itself, you guys, but I just kind of like to fray it. I'm going to leave it like that for now because I might move it up or down. I don't know yet. I'm going to pop this up. You want to put the pups inside the dark so you don't see them through. I'm just going to put 2 more. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take this. So this is our base, and now we're going to kind of come in together I want it kind of snug, tucked inside here. Okay, so you're gonna lay it and not push it until you know you got it where you want it, because it is hanging over a tad, and I am okay with that. Now, I don't want this to slide around, so I'm just gonna secure it a little bit with a glue dot, just right underneath here, because I want the ribbon to just kind of stay up next to up here. All right, so I'm good with that. I'm going to cut this, and I am going to cut this one. Oops. All right, so now we're going to layer it up on our card. Let's put our card base inside. Oh, that's like thread or something. That's not even ink. All right, hold on. Let's see if we can salvage that with our eraser. As soon as I can find my eraser. All right, where did it go? Let me grab my eraser and see if we can, here we go. It doesn't really look like ink, so I don't know if this will work. There we go. Yeah, that was, I don't know what that was, but here we go. All right, so we're going to put our inside in. Now my next live video, which will be my second live video, I will probably have something planned. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to just come on and, number one, I wasn't even sure if it was going to work because I've not done a live before. So that worked. All right, now this one, I'm going to not pop it up. I've got a lot of popping up going on, so we're just going to go like that and put this on and center it. That looks pretty good. Oh, I'm kind of happy how this is coming out. Okay, now when I did glue on here, it is a little tacky, so I'm going to reach for my embossing buddy and just kind of make sure that the tackiness is not tacky anymore. You just take this, it's got like a powder in there. You use it for your embossing, heat embossing, so things don't stick. And so I'm just making sure. All right, so that is good. I don't mind the length of the gold. I'm fine with that. I'm wondering now, do I want to add anything? I think I'm going to add a little something right here. So I think I'm going to add just like a leaf. I'll add this one. So just kind of, I want it under the gold. Or at least this one I do. And I'm going to add a tiny, if I can find my phone, oh here they are. My dimensionals. I just want to get a tiny one and put right behind this up here, just to kind of low, down low, but just enough to hold it. And then maybe one of my little turquoisey, my peacock, if I have one left, which I do. So I'm just going to glue this in there too. Glue that in here, right there. And then the only other thing, I'm kind of liking just that. Well, let's see. I'm going to take this because I just love this little stamp. I'm just going to take the little piece. And I'm just going to tuck it right there, just to add a little bit more. So that's 3. Add that in there just like that. And there we go. There's our third one. So I was hoping we were going to get to 4, but I know you guys don't have all day, and it was a lot of fun. And I hope you kind of saw how the creativity goes, and it just doesn't come easy with everybody. Like, I was really afraid that this card was going to turn out not so good, but I'm actually really happy with the way that turned out. Thanks, Karen. I'm really glad you stayed and joined. This was so much fun, you guys. I'm really happy with how these came out. Like I said, I saw an idea of one very similar to that on another, I'm going to have to go look back and see who that was, another demonstrator. So here is, I'm going to show you my list here. These are a lot of the items that we used. I did not write everything down because I obviously didn't know what I was going to be using, but I think I got most of them written down. And once you go to my page, you can look around and just put in Forever Greenery and the whole suite will come up. You can buy the whole suite together. Oh, you're so welcome, Karen. You can do the whole suite together and it will bring up everything, and you get a discount if you buy the whole suite. And I believe I showed you everything in the suite. So that is one of the things you can do. And I'm going to show you, let's see. Here is my information. Thank you so much for joining me here. If you subscribe to my YouTube page, click on the little bell next to subscribe and you will get notice when I go on live or when I have something posted. Also, if you go to my website page at marcybessaker.com, I do post there. If you subscribe, you will get an email and it will let you know when I've posted something. And if you go to my Facebook page, which is Marcy Bessaker Designs, then I also post there, and then I say I posted information on my blog. So sometimes I'll post the night before and you can get a little more information, ask some questions. I have been doing lives there, but I may be switching over to YouTube. It seems a little clearer, not so jumpy. And so I might just stay on the YouTube lives. So please subscribe and then click the little notification bell. That would be awesome. And if you have any questions on my Facebook, my YouTube, but my blog mostly, you can go and shop from there. So on my blog, marcybessaker.com, on the right side, you can see the most current catalog. And the catalog is on the right and down just a bit. And you can see there's 2 different catalogs right now. They will end at the end of May. So if there's something in there that you want, make a list, let me know, and then I can tell you what's going to carry on to the next catalog. Because if it carries on, that might be your choice on what you want now, what you want to wait a little later to get. So that's something to think about. Also, right under my shop now on my blog, it says the hostess code there. That is the current monthly hostess code. If you could please use that code when you purchase, that helps me get items for giveaways and such. I do have a giveaway that I'm going to be doing at the end of May. So this set that I created, I will be giving away at the end of May. At the end of May, I will be doing a drawing. Anybody that orders $50 or more with my hostess code, you have to use my hostess code, and of course it has to go through my shop. You will go into a drawing and you will receive this stamp set. And next month in June, we are getting a paper pumpkin that is a sunshine, share sunshine. And what I'm going to do is create a box out of my paper pumpkin box, and I'm going to put one of the cards in that we make, and then I'm going to include this set into that package, and then I'm going to fill it up with some other goodies, and I'm going to share Sunshine and forward that paper pumpkin box with some goodies in it to somebody else. That's whoever wins the drawing for the purchases in May. That person will get those. So thanks again for stopping by. I appreciate you subscribing and liking. If you liked the video, please click the thumbs up down below, and please share. I would appreciate if you share my video and my links with others. And I'm trying to grow my audience, and I really appreciate that. Again, here are the cards that we created, and I really thank you for spending the time with me. My next video, I think, will be a little shorter because I'll have a plan, whereas these were just not a plan. It was just kind of, let's craft and go and see what happens. And it was kind of fun. I'm glad you joined me. Thanks a lot. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I'll probably be on here again this weekend sometime. Definitely I'll be on my business page. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a great day.